it's very inhuman. Yeah.
And the way it's shot is like as if you would be the person being there. These photos, it's like you can really imagine being in there, squeezed in there. This is kind of your life.
Life in Hong Kong. Behind the facades of the skyscrapers lies a shadow world. Entrepreneur Fritjof Detzner has been travelling through Asia, talking to people about the global phenomenon of urbanisation.
Hi.
Hi.
A social worker has brought him to this apartment block, which the landlord has subdivided into minuscule units. There's barely space to move.
Sometimes he has some small table on the bed.
Oh, and then sitting, okay.
The rent amounts to over 180 euros a month.
Can I ask you how big this room is?
This is less than 30 square feet, yeah.
Ich glaube, für den 13-jährigen Sohn ist das.
I think it's pretty hard on the 13-year-old son. He realizes his situation is difficult. He told me it's awkward with his friends because he can't invite them home to 3 square meters of space. That leads to social problems for him, like getting left out. He can't just bring his friends home in a normal way to play computer games, say. What we're seeing here is the effect rental prices can have on the lives of people who don't earn enough money to afford a decent life.
Hong Kong is one of the most expensive cities in the world. The financial services hub attracts millions of workers, and the cramped living conditions take their toll, says architect Vicky Chan.
If you look around, people, you don't see a lot of people smiling.
Yeah.
People are generally kind of unhappy. 1 in 7 people actually has mental illness here in Hong Kong. They're stressed out, they're nervous. So sometimes it's not so much about the physical environment, it's also like the mental part of it.
How to make cities more livable places in the future. Vicky Chan focuses on green living, bringing nature back to the concrete jungle, making buildings sustainable and energy efficient. The architect founded his business with a small team. He has an office in New York and one here in Hong Kong. But implementing his ideas requires a new approach to urban planning.
To make a sustainable city, I believe it's very important to make the regulation in a very minimal way so that they become less about restricting how we can make a city, but more about providing a platform that people can use their creative freedom to generate a space that they want.
That's the dream. But there's a serious lack of affordable housing in Hong Kong. At least 200,000 people live in appallingly cramped conditions.
Yeah, in Hong Kong, actually, even those people there in Hong Kong, not everyone they know about the situation of the poor, and then some people they even don't believe there are people that live in very poor conditions.
It was new to the German startup founder too.
How did she not turn around in this one?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we have demonstration here, but actually already bigger size.
It's bigger than this.
We try, yeah, already a little bit bigger.
It's very different from what he's used to.
And you can imagine actually all your things you think. So there will not so many few things. You will put all full your and then
it's all
so
like
you have less space.
Yeah, because you need to store your belongings.
Yeah.
Tiny accommodations can mean big business. Entrepreneur Eric Wong presents the sleep capsule he developed. It has Wi-Fi, TV and air conditioning, and it's even said to be earthquake-proof. The boxes are mainly sold to hotels in Asia.
I came up with the idea because I'm from Hong Kong, where the rooms are really small. I asked myself how these narrow rooms could be made more pleasant, especially in the evening. I had an active imagination as a kid. I used to imagine flying to space. The first version of the bed capsule was very simple. Then I developed it. And this is the latest generation. Almost all the devices in there can be controlled by a mobile phone.
All right, don't just make a box for me. All right, if you build a box to tell me that this is your new school, I would be like, oh, boring. This is exactly what we have right now.
Vicky Chan teaches school children on a voluntary basis about architecture and urban planning. Fritjof goes along to attend one of the lessons. The architect wants to encourage the children to come up with their own designs for living solutions.
The children have so many great ideas. A lot of them aren't realistic, but still, it's good and healthy to question things that have always been the same. Vicky Chan often mentions the concept of copy and paste architecture. It's a useful term, but I think ultimately it's in the hands of the people who provide the money. They have to think differently, and as long as that doesn't happen, I think it will be hard to change.
Changing cities takes time and money, and capping rising rent prices is a job for policymakers. But people like architect Vicky Chan are trying to transform the world one vision at a time.